Alright guys, so this was a versus fanfiction idea that was voted on over on Patreon, and if you guys would like to be part of those future Patreons, let me know. Just hit the link below, head on to my Patreon, hit the first tier, that'll allow you to be part of the polls. I've got another versus fanfiction because I want to get that spooky out there. I want to get my spooky points up. The current one is, here are your options for the new one if you want to be part of this poll. Megan versus Gremlins, Hellraiser versus Beetlejuice, Michael Myers versus the Miner from My Bloody Valentine, Frankenstein versus the Reanimator, Ghostbusters versus Puppet Master, and finally Ash versus Dog Soldiers. So if you want to be part of those polls, as well as check out the upcoming episode reviews of Agatha All Along and The Penguin, which I will be doing, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon, and you can do so. But other than that, let's get started with the video. So, this story begins kind of like how every story begins with Friday the 13th. A bunch of teens break into the remnants of Camp Crystal Lake, have debauchery left and right, and Jason proceeds to fucking butcher them all. Jason just fucking kills everyone except one but this time there is no final girl. There is no final girl. Everyone dies. It's just bodies everywhere. And however, one of the victims, the victims' families all get together and are like demanding answers from the local police department. Like, hey, you said it was a bear attack. There's been no bears in New Jersey for years, and even if there was, like, there's no way a bear could do that to a person. Like, what are you hiding from us? And they get shut down everywhere. No one will take a lawsuit against Crystal Lake. So the respective families of these new victims are just, distraught. They are lost in grief. They don't know what to do. They honestly have nothing. They literally have nothing to get answers or get revenge. Like, some of them do believe, like, hey, what if it was Jason? Because Jason's treated like an urban myth. So they're like, what if it was Jason Voorhees? Maybe that's why they're so scared of all of this. And they're like, and some of them are like, no, but there is something they're covering up. So the families are all arguing, and one person, this grandmother of one of the victims, just speaks up and goes, "It doesn't sound like you want to get answers. It sounds like you want to get revenge." And everyone's like looking at her like, "What are you going on about, old woman?" So this old woman explains that, like, y'all, those of y'all who don't know me, I grew up in the Appalachians. And up in the Appalachians, if someone sought revenge, we go see this old woman named Haggis. And Haggis said to have powers, like weird, eerie, dark powers. Now, I'm not saying she can raise the dead, but she could raise something else that could help get what we want, what we all really want. So some of the family members like, that's fucking stupid. Why are we even listening to this? Like, why even bother with any of this, But there are other family members who are like, willing to, like, give at the bare minimum the benefit of the doubt. And they're just kind of like, well, we'll try anything, like, we're willing to try anything once. So they all go. Like some of the family members who do accept the offer, they go down to the Appalachians and head to Razorback Hollow, where they find Haggis just kind of sitting there, all decrepit and all, like, just sitting there like, what do you want? And they're like, we heard you got powers, and we lost some people. And she's like, I can't bring back the dead. And to which the family member's like, we know, but we want you to help, if you want us to, we want revenge, and we want it on something that can kill the unkillable. And she goes, you fellas thinking about killing Jason Voorhees? And they're like, whoa, how did you know that? And she's like, I can smell his death all over you. He must have killed all them kids. It must have been your kids. You want me to send vengeance up north, so you can kill what you call the unkillable. So they make the deal, and she gathers. She tells them to go to the old pumpkin patch. They gather Pumpkinhead's Pumpkinhead's shriveled old corpse, and among them is like the spirit. They see the spirit. One of them sees the spirit of Ed Harley, and he's like, "Don't do this. Like, you don't want to do this." And she's like, "Well, what option? Like, I don't know who you are, but like, we don't have any option here. Pumpkinhead is if Pumpkinhead can do anything, it can hopefully kill Jason once and for all." So Pumpkinhead is raised, and the family members are all like dazed and confused, and they're just like, "What the hell happened?" And they're like, "Give it a few days. He's got to travel far." So Pumpkinhead has been awoken. He's making a beeline for Crystal Lake. Meanwhile, Jason's just kind of chilling and, sitting in Crystal Lake, just listening, watching his mom's decaying head. And later that night, what happens that night is something big and heavy lands on the roof of Jason's house. And Jason, of course, is like, "Goddamn kids," just grabs his machete, goes out there, and is like looking around for whatever is out there. And Jason's like looking around, and then he just gets blindsided by a swipe of Pumpkinhead's claws, and Jason like stumbles back. He looks back at Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead's just snarling and growling at him, and the fight's on. So, of course, as you know, the people who raise Pumpkinhead are connected to the pain he inflicts, as well as the pain that Pumpkinhead endures. So they're kind of in it. So those family members are all like, they're having Pumpkinhead get slashed. They feel the machete hitting him. They all feel like whenever Pumpkinhead hits Jason, they feel his claws on his face. They are getting fucked up as bad as those two are. And some of the family members are like, "Oh my god, we made a horrible mistake. What if neither of them can die, and we're just and this punishment we did on ourselves, like we just caused our own penance. We caused our own pain." So Jason and Pumpkinhead are fighting throughout Crystal Lake. Like, they're crashing through, Jason and Pumpkinhead are like crashing through buildings. They're fighting with everything. And Jason's like, he's never fought someone that could take the punishment that he can give out. So like Jason tries to like go to crush Pumpkinhead's head. Pumpkinhead just uses his tail and just it stabs Jason through the back, throws him around. Even I'm going to take a page out of the Dynamite books. Pumpkinhead grows his wings from the Dynamite comics and flies up to and does an aerial attack on Jason, leading him to like grab a nearby like old nail gun and just shoot Pumpkinhead's wing directly in the wings, causing him to crash back down. Jason then like rips off a huge branch from a tree, goes over and just tries to stab Pumpkinhead and impale him there, hold him down, but Pumpkinhead like pulls himself free, and the fight just keeps going and going until they're fighting out in the Pumpkinhead regrows his wings, grabs Jason, and they both fly out to the lake. And they both fall and crash into the ocean, into the water. And the family members, all that pain stops. So they're like, Did he win? Did Pumpkinhead kill him? Like they don't know. So, but the witch then appears out of nowhere. It's like, "Y'all cost me my demon. He ain't dead. Neither is Jason. They're just sleeping. When they come up, ooh, they're gonna be mad." So at the bottom of at the bottom of Crystal Lake, like Jason's there. He tries to like spring out of the water. Pumpkinhead reaches up and like pulls him back under. So they're kind of like stuck in this like endless cycle of just fucking each other up at the bottom of the lake. So there you go. That is Jason versus Pumpkinhead. I want to thank everyone over on Patreon who voted for this one. This was a lot of fun to do. Other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.